Man, it has been honestly incredible. So, Dave, I think when we first met, I had sent, yeah, I think I sent you a personal video. That's how we got
Yeah.
introduced. Um, yeah, so I was actually trying to get Dave as a client, and Dave and I were working on some just stuff around sales. And honestly, we just started having really good conversations, I feel like, and that led down to taking some of the ELI assessments. And then, yeah, honestly, just through our conversations alone, um, I feel like, I feel like the energy level that we both had on some of our calls kind of led us down to some interesting different opportunities, even for both of us. I mean, we had a certain vibration energy on the calls where we, uh, yeah, those those good conversations stimulated my ideas around, what my programming was like beforehand, what my programming, or what I should be trying to program myself like in the future, and have been able to not only significantly grow my business, but also I feel like my personal life I have a lot more clarity on the things that I need to do to, yeah, reduce stress in my life, and also just make sure that I have um, the right daily habits in place to make sure I'm as efficient and productive as I could possibly be.
Yeah. The big message out there as we go through, we don't understand a lot of our programming is by the age of 7, right? And that's where our strategies and behaviors are imprinted. What we don't know, and we don't learn through life, is that 80% of our IQ can be blocked. Our creativity the light is out.
That's what you're talking about with the catabolic energy, right?
Yeah, the catabolic energy. So if we're under any stressor, and stressors comes from anger, sadness, fear, hurt, or guilt,
Yep.
those are an undertone, like a car alarm in the distance trying to have a conversation outside, right? So through our conversations, I know you probably identified some of those stressors, some of those distractions. What would you say the pinpoint distraction was that improved your creativity, and where were you and where are you now?
Yeah, I think before I took the ELI too, the assessment, I didn't really understand what it was, or what, yeah, where I was even at for like a baseline. So without knowing your baseline, you can't really track or gauge anything about how to get better at stuff. So I knew, okay, I feel stressed at certain points, or I feel overwhelmed with certain things in work, but I couldn't identify exactly where that was. And through taking that, especially with the LI, I felt like I was figuring out like, oh, this specific question is making me realize maybe I have some resistance around this area of my life, or taking responsibility for my actions in this particular kind of, this bucket of my life. So once I figured out like, oh, my relationships are a part that's possibly draining a lot of my energy, or my lack of attention to planning out my day is screwing me up because I get distracted very easily. And so figuring out those specific areas has helped me a lot in, honestly, in having more energy freed up for my day, and being able to make the right decisions from having that energy freed up.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in a short note, where were you and where are you?
Oh yeah, good. I got to answer the actual question here.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So I'd say beforehand, if I could put like a percentage on it, I feel like I was only able to use like 40% of my energy on any given day, because 60% was being drained for me in a bunch of different areas that I wasn't realizing I was a leaky bucket in. Now I feel like I'm not perfect, but I would say I'm up to like that 75-80% where I can actually use that energy. And I have, maybe, a good 20-25% I could still work on tightening up.
Yeah, what I heard there is it's common with all my clients. It's where they were spending 60% on the stuff that didn't matter, and being able to flip that, and now putting 70% of your energy what really matters, and letting go the other stuff that we think has meaning. You're letting that go and really being present and engaged and creative, and then your productivity goes up through the roof, your happiness goes through the roof,
right?
And it just all around you feel like a better energetic contributor following your value and your purpose.
Yeah, and honestly, it's simple stuff. Like when I write on my notepad and I'm like, okay, here's the 3 things I need to do today now. Now that I've identified, these are the problem areas. When I knock off the number 1 hardest thing on my list and I get it done, it's like as long as I'm doing that every single day, it's really only an hour, 2 hours of work, maybe 3 hours of work. But that one thing frees up so much more of my stress and the rest of my day-to-day activity. Awesome.
What was the last thing you were thinking of before you decided you needed to take the ELI?
I'm too busy for this was the last thing I was thinking. And actually that's the thing that probably led me into it. Or that's why I got the most benefit out of it is it's kind of the same thing as meditating, right? Or like doing any type of internal work oh man, I don't have time for this right now. I'm not, I have too much work. I have too much whatever. But you're actually so much more productive if you do the internal work that's needed.
Perfect, man. Well, I'm glad to be working with you. Like you said, it's a collaboration between the two of us. It's empowered me, and that's one of my values is being able to contribute and create and build a community of powerful, energetic beings that are just crushing it.
Yeah. If you're watching this, Dave and I have really good energy, but I imagine it's probably the same with most people you speak to, Dave. I can't recommend it enough.
Perfect, man. Well, thank you for your time.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. I will